Hello everyone, welcome to the fitness studio that my dad owns. This is where I see clients from Tawa. I have a massage space set up behind you where I obviously do my massage work with a table and everything, but the other half of the space is this lovely big fitness space which has slightly padded floors, so it's a really nice space to sit and stretch and do mobility stuff on because you've just got a bit more cushioning, and I don't have to necessarily use a yoga mat or a Pilates mat, and it's quite nice having this. I'm very spoiled. You can also see my dad's taekwondo kind of stuff, and this is a VRX, I think that's what it's called. TRX, where you can hang off of it and use body weight. So that's what that is behind me. But I wanted to just sit here. I've just finished my clinic sessions of massage for the day, and I wanted to do a little bit of a warm down and show you what I've been doing for my warm down. Because I'm a massage therapist, I spend a lot of time on my feet, so my lower legs can get quite sore and quite tight, and I'm hypermobile, so I have that kind of issue that a lot of my clients have, which is that things get very tight because they're having to stabilize everything because I'm so mobile. And then obviously I'm using my hands and my arms and my shoulders a lot doing massage, but it's obviously we all use our arms and shoulders a lot. I'm actually very grateful because in massage work I get to kind of move around and be in different positions, and you know how my body does vary, which is something that you don't get if you sit at a desk doing desk work all day. However, I have to push a lot of force through my arms to do my massage work, and I am sort of standing over a table with my head kind of forward like this. So obviously my neck and my shoulders and my back and things like that are getting used, and so it's a really nice thing to be able to do a warm down. And this evening I actually have a bit more time than usual, so I thought I would show you what I've really been doing in my warm down and talk you through it. So you're welcome to get on the floor, maybe get your mat out if you don't have padded floors like I do, which is probably the case. Get your yoga mat out or whatever it is you like to kind of work on. Some of the stuff you can even do on a Shakti mat with the kind of texture, but I don't use one of those, so up to you. So the first thing that I like to do is just lay on the ground and have a big stretch. So I'm just going to reach above my head and down towards my toes. I might just angle myself so you can see. So nice big stretch, nice and long. And then I'm going to bend my knees up, and I'm going to take a twist in each direction. This is a great mobilizer for the lower back and the sacroiliac areas, which, if you don't know, is where the tailbone connects to the pelvis. So it's quite a nice thing to do because we rarely get to stretch that in our day-to-day life. And then I like to take the foot and rest it on the knee and open this knee out to the side. This in itself can be a really nice stretch in the hip. So I might hang out here for a little bit and take some deep breaths. And when I'm doing my deep breaths, I really try to bring the rib cage down into the ground. So breathing into the floor to kind of expand in the back of your rib cage, which helps to open up that diaphragm and release some of the tension in your shoulders. And then I actually do a twist with the foot on the knee, so taking myself all the way over like this. And I find this just shifts the stretch in the hip and gives me a bit of a different sensation. I'm not going to stay in any position too long because my goal actually this evening is more to do with mobility than it is to kind of do any deep stretching. Just because I feel sometimes that the deep stretching is really awesome, especially for stress relief and getting ready for sleeping and going to bed. But it's going to be probably a couple of hours before I'm actually going off to bed. So I really just want to mobilize everything and get everything moving to kind of integrate the day. So yeah, I do some of that, and then I find myself into all fours, and I'm gonna just do the classic cat-cow. I like to breathe in and then out this way. And I actually like to kind of move around. I like to do quite a bit of a wild cat-cow because there's so much movement available, and when I do a bit of an exploration, you know, bending the arms, letting the shoulders drop, you know, moving your head around, moving your tailbone around, exploring the weight, shifting weight from side to side or front to back, and I find that it just helps to open up some bits of tension that I didn't know I had, and yeah, also helps to kind of stretch out the wrists a little bit. This is kind of a massage therapist stretch, but actually it's really great if you've been doing a lot of computer work and you don't want to get overuse syndrome in your forearms. You can sit on your knees, or you can stand over your bed or a table and do this way if you don't like this position on your legs. But you can just take the hands on the backs of the hands flat, and this might be enough of a stretch for you. As you can see, I'm really mobile, so I'm just going to actually sit back and increase that stretch. And so I'm feeling the stretch up the back of the forearm there. And I like to keep moving because I'm not doing a big deep stretch. I'm really just kind of mobilizing and then shaking that out. And I'm actually going to do them other way around, so placing them this way around. And again, that might be enough for you sitting forward like this, but because I am quite mobile, I'm going to just pull back a little bit. And as you can see, I'm getting that stretch this time on the underneath side of my wrist and forearm. And while you're doing this, just check you're not like shoulders up, just keeping them down and keeping everything pretty relaxed. So yeah, not holding it for too long. And then I'm going to take, some people call this the figure 4. I call it 90 and 90 because the front legs at a right angle and the back legs also at a right angle, and then your legs are also at a right angle. But whatever you call this, find yourself in this position, and then all I'm going to do is roll forwards to kind of look over the hand that I've got on the floor, and then I'm going to sit back and look towards my elbow that I've got sticking out. I'm just going to do this a few times. I feel this stretching this hip when I come this way, and when I come this way I feel it stretching in different places through this groin. And I really like this movement. Sometimes when I come this way I actually get a bit of a stretch through the psoas and hip flexor, and then sometimes when I come back this way I get a bit of a stretch somewhere else. It kind of changes as I do it because my body adjusts in real time. And then I'm going to switch onto the other side, same thing, right angle, right angle, right angle, and then taking the opening and closing movement. And then you can come into a little butterfly position and stretching forwards like this. I don't like to start with this one because I find it too intense to kind of go straight into most of the time, but it's quite a nice one to do. And I'll also give my neck a little bit of a rotation. I get really tight bringing my head to my shoulders, like down this way I find really tight. So yeah, I always try to do some really nice big circles just to open that out a little bit and remind me to kind of drop everything away. So that's pretty much my warm down. That was under 10 minutes. Obviously if you're feeling luxurious or you want to move slower, you can take your time through these kinds of exercises. But on a day like today where I've finished my clinic and now I've got to go home and do my kids' bedtime, or I've got to do whatever, I really just like the 10-minute buffer of mobility and movement to integrate and shake off the day and then out the door. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video.